Hello, in this one, a Lightning Vortex critical and maximize builds. Let's talk about what kind of setup makes this build good in the early game and in the end game. Skill board, zodiacs, charms, relics, uniques, and more is coming up. Early game skill board for a critical Lightning Vortex should look something like this. We want to start with additional lightning damage, confidence, quick attack, find weakness, warrior shadow, and extract lightning energy. For attack enhance, we are looking at Fighter's Wrath, and for defense enhance, we want to have Bulwark of Protection. Both of these two skill runes are linked with increased duration and time acceleration. For offensive seal, we want to have Seal of Critical Chance. For defensive, I chose Seal of Dodge, but you can pick up any defensive seal that you have. Counter attack in here is for two things. First of all, it gives you extra dodge rate, and another thing, it debuffs the enemies with the pain effect, which increases your damage. All of the toggles and seals are linked with dampen resource cost to maintain your healthy mana. Shadow Provocation in here is for arm amplification and damage buff, and it's linked with time acceleration, Predator's Roar, Hushed Shout, Lingering Shout, and buff activation when hit. With this link rune, you're gonna be able to proc your Shadow Provocation automatically whenever you are hit. For movement abilities, it's Leap Attack and Roll linked with Disarm. For a maximize build, there are two changes to make. We want to get Seal of Persistence as our attack seal, and remove Find Weakness and switch it with Persistence link rune. Zodiacs for critical build. I'm gonna start with non-specialization nodes, and then I'm gonna show you specialization nodes. Aphros, Swamp, Jewel, Leaf, Stem, Flash, Dewdrop, Rainbow, Breath, Dust, Artemis, Maggot, Plague, Spider, Mold. Specialization nodes unlock when you spend 22 points, 45 points, and 70 points. The first spec is Dawn. In here, you're only gonna have 7 points at the start, but when you finish Green Questline in Soluto, you're gonna have 9 points. This setup is the most offensive setup. We're going for Amplify damage and Strike damage amplification. However, if you're having problems with mana, you can go Convert mana, and this should fix your mana issues. On second spec, Hail, we want to pick up Area Effect and Area Damage amplification, Tempest, and Sharpness. On third spec, we are looking for Amplify damage by 12% and damage on movement skill use. And we always want to use movement skills, as this damage amp is really huge. For maximize zodiacs, there are two changes. So first one is in the rainbow. We want to pick up Distorted Senses. And in our specialization 2, we don't benefit from sharpness, so we want to pick up extra effect for strong winds and light winds, and a little bit of damage upon attack. For charm blessings, we are looking for Akban, Boreal, Alyssa, and Caster. That means only these type of charms we are looking for. Charm affixes for critical build. We want to have critical rate and critical damage always on our charms. The third affix is up to you. Maximize damage would be the best, however, getting something like HP multiplier, HP flat, some resistances, or even critical damage taken dampening is also a good choice. For a legendary prefix, we are looking for maximization chance, because whenever we are doing a critical build, they can also do maximize damage. That means getting maximization chance, which is both double maximization and triple maximization chance, is a really huge boost to our damage. If you can get maximization chance, the next best one would be strike damage amplification. This one is also gonna increase our damage by quite a bit. Getting something like critical damage is also a choice, but not really that huge of a damage increase. For a maximized build, we want to have damage multiplier and maximized damage multiplier as our two main affixes. The third one depends on you. If you want some defenses, you can go for HPs. If you want more offensive, you want to pick up damage when two-handed weapon equipped if you are using a two-handed weapon. If you are using one-handed weapon, that means you want damage when one-handed. For a legendary prefix, we only scale from strike damage amplification, and this is the only one we need. Relics, we want to start with Sabda. Passive is enhanced chaos resist. Active mental stimulation with cooldown recovery speed and increased buff effect. Second is Castor. In here we can have enhanced strength or enhanced range for the passive. Third one is Akuben. The only choice is enhanced lightning penetration. The last one is Boreal for enhanced HP, as this one can only be level 15. Uniques. For a critical build, you want to have Caster Refraction. It gives a flat critical rate and critical damage. This flat critical rate fixes all of our critical issues. On a maximized build, we want to have Band of Certainty. And together with Band of Certainty, we always want to use Seal of Persistence, otherwise their passive effect is not gonna work. And this ring is the main reason why we don't want to have any chance to deal double maximized or triple maximized, as this ring is more than enough. Itemization, I'm gonna keep it simple and short. There are two types of weapons. In this case, I have two-handed sword, which has a critical rate of 9. It's a low critical base. On the other hand, there is another type of two-handed sword that has a high critical base. And depends on what kind of build you do, you want to have a correct base. In this case, I only have this one. However, I'm gonna show you both critical crafts and maximized crafts. For a critical weapon, you always want to have a gear critical rate multiplier with weapon attack damage multiplier. These two mods are the most important ones, as getting all of them early into the game is gonna be quite a bit hard. For a maximized base, you don't want to have any critical. However, you want to pick up maximized damage, and in this case, because we are lightning build, we want to pick up lightning damage multiplier. Again, it's gonna be hard to get everything, but there is some changes. We want to have weapon attack damage multiplier, and our priority is lightning damage flat. After that, you can pick up whatever you want. That's how the weapon looks like. For a chest or any other piece of equipment, you want to always have HP multiplier or HP flat, whatever lets you to do it. And the main idea is you always want to have a main defense multiplier. In this case, because it's dodge rate, you want to have gear dodge rate multiplier. And that's true for every single piece. On the suffix, your main idea is to fix your resistances, so this one depends on you, but look for resistances. And keeping that in mind, that's how you want to craft any other piece of equipment. If you're looking for more offensive rolls, for example, you have a ring. On the ring, you can pick up some attack damage or even elemental damage multiplier. The offensive rolls, you can think about that yourself, but I highly suggest to just grab defensive items. If you want a more in-depth explanation of what is going on in here, I'm gonna leave a video in the description. Skillboard later into the game looks something like this. Let's start with Lightning Vortex. In here, if you want more single target, you go Verity. If you want more multi-target, you go Origin. For the links, of course, Warrior Shadow, Extract Lightning Energy, Melee Damage Jump, Concentrated Area Damage, Mana Storm, and Fighting Spirit. There are many changes to make in here. I tried to set up links that doesn't need any requirements, but this is not the best setup. Main point in here is that on melee damage amplification, you want to go Origin, otherwise you're not going to be able to apply status effects. For Fighting Spirit, we want to go Source for extra Fighting Spirit stacks. On Warrior Shadow, we want to pick up Source for damage jump and area effect. These two links, or even these three links, they can be changed to some other links depending on what you have. So for example, if you have enough HP and strength, Iron Will is gonna be so much better. You need 24k HP to get all of the damage amp from this one. At the same time, something like grip strength also can work on a one-hander and two-hander builds. This is really nice. The last one can be something like the same concept as area damage or even mana storm, but as I said, this one depends on you. The main idea is to pick up as much damage amplification as you can. Other changes in here is that we are running Seal of Striking as our attack seal. I also added Veil of Protection as an extra defense enhance. This one decreases your melee damage or projectile damage taken. Illusion Axe in here is to extract Earth Energy, as Earth Energy is attack damage multiplier, so this works very well. On Fighter's Wrath, I added Totem activation upon using Enhanced skill with Weaken Totem. And this is more of a single target damage increase, which is nice to clear something like champions. Weaken Totem has Enhanced Totem, Link Rune, and Weaken Totem can be awakened into Source or Origin. Source works better for elemental builds. Also, Fighter's Wrath and Shadow Provocation has Enhanced effect linked together. This one increases skill rune effect. For movement skill rune, I switch Leap Attack to Penetrating Slash. This has a fast animation. And Shadow of Justice is in here to remove the crowd control from you. And if you're using this with buff activation upon crowd control, it's also gonna do it automatically for you. For a maximized build, again, 2 changes. We want to have on Lightning Vortex Smash, awaken it to Source. This gives strike damage and maximized damage per stack. I chose to pick up Persistence Link Rune in here, but you can still also use Mana Storm. What you're looking for is for as much damage amp as you can. For a attack seal, we have to use Seal of Persistence, otherwise maximized build doesn't work. Everything else is the same. Let's talk about energies. On maximized build, it's easier to do, so I'm gonna show you a maximized build example. In here we have Lightning Vortex Smash, of course Seal of Persistence, and Extract Energy. You can switch any Link Rune that you want that gives you the least amount of damage amp. Extract Energy is the best when awaken it to +2 max energies. This way you can negate a -2 tooltip. You're gonna have damage depending on how many energies you possess. So at 50 energies, you have 50% damage amplification. There is another one, Extract Energy in here, and this one is on movement skill because it's awakened to Origin, and Origin gives us damage dampening per 1 energy possessed. That means you want 2 energies, 2 extract energies. One is Source awakened onto your main skill. Another one is awakened to Origin onto the skill that you don't use that many times. And for maximized build, this is everything you need to know. For a critical build, there is quite a few issues, and I'm gonna show you how to solve those. So let's assume this is a critical build. The Zodiac setup looks exactly the same. The skill bot setup looks exactly the same. Let's remove Seal of Persistence. However, we are running into issues on a critical build, and those issues arise from the energies that we have. Cold Energy decreases our critical chance, and Lightning Energy decreases our maximization chance. This you can solve by picking up Zodiac, called Electric Current Wall, and Frost Shard. These 2 Zodiacs should fix our energy problems that arise on a critical build. Of course, you're not gonna be able to do this early. Energies on a critical build is way later into the game. This would be all. Don't forget to check the description, and see you in the next build. Bye bye.